Morning. How you doing? How you doing this morning? Mm-hmm.
When I first get in there, it's dry regular. Then when I turn it off, turn it back on, like you can hear it now. It's doing it now. Like part of it sound like, and it's coming.
Hold on 1 second.
Like now, it's doing it now.
Okay. I'm gonna have to get a main shop advisor for you. So give me 1 second, all right? Okay. All right. Come on. His main shop. What? Main shop.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Hello.
I'll just meet you right over at my desk.
Okay. Okay. Where's this paperwork?
I got it here. The lady just told me.
What's your name?
Simmons.
Give me 1 second. Who are you working with? Steve?
What's the last name?
Simmons?
Oh, right here.
Oh, he's all good. Is it in the yellow?
It should be, because it was a waiter, so I would imagine it would be.
Yep, it's right outside for you. You have a good one. Where? I know that, but I'm saying like I got it right here on my phone.
Sweet.
Hey, brother.
Hey, how's it going, man? So yeah, we'll get started here in a little bit. Nice to see you. And Frank, if you want to unmute yourself, you can just let me know who you are. I got a little roll sheet. I see you, Mr. Simmons. I had you on the list, so thanks for coming in, Thad. But Frank, if you want to let me know who you are, I'll bold you on my sheet. I appreciate you coming in.
Hey, Mitch.
Yes.
Yeah, this is Frank Lucero. I'm actually the Regional Service Director under Andy.
Awesome.
So
Cool. I'm just keeping low attendance. Thanks for coming on. And I see we got Ray coming on. And Ray, when you come on, if you can just share with me who you are. I'm taking roll. So the teacher in me is coming out. So you can just announce yourself and let me know who you are, and I'll put you on the sheet. Thanks for coming in. And as people start coming in, I have moving trucks at my old house that they're showing up in 5 minutes. So you guys are saving me from needing to be around and lifting anything. So I appreciate it. I am tired of moving already. So thanks for coming in, though. How's it going, Ray? I see you're masked up. Thank you for all your efforts. And just in a little bit, we'll take roll, and I'll make sure I put you down for the class. And I got a 248 number that logged in. Again, if you want to just drop your name in the chat, it'll probably be a little quicker way for me to take roll. This is being recorded on a private channel on my YouTube channel, so I'll be able to go back, but I want to make sure that everyone who comes gets credit for the class, and we'll keep track of that as well. So thanks for hanging out. And I'm sure most of you are aware, but the chat is at the bottom of the screen there. If you want to drop in your name, that's cool. And like I said, we'll get started here in a few minutes.
Yeah.
How's it going, AFC Service? I see you down there in the bottom corner of my screen. My name's Mitch. Thanks for coming in. If you want to drop your name in the chat, you can. I'm going to take roll in a little bit, or using that chat so everybody gets credit. Thanks for coming in. How's it going, Colton? Nice to meet you. Thad, nice to meet you. How's it going, sir? I'm Mitch.
I'm Colton.
Yeah, I like your mask, man. It's cool.
Thank you.
Thanks for all your efforts, and nice meeting you. We have Sean and Brett logging in. Once you get in, if you can, drop your name in the chat so we can just make sure that you get credit for the class. So if you are Brett M, just drop your name in, or Sean. Sometimes when people log in using others' computers, their name isn't what their name is. So yeah, drop your name in the chat and we'll begin in a few minutes. And thanks for coming in. I appreciate you guys. We got Jason logging in. Again, just I know it gets old if you logged in early, but if you can, drop your name in the chat. Chat's at the bottom of the toolbar. So you can get credit for the class. My name's Mitch. Thanks for coming in. And we'll begin in a few minutes. Mike Diakin, got some mock products in the house. How's it going, sir? Thanks for coming in. Ooh, got Andy on. Boss man, all right. That's good. Thanks for coming on. Thanks for hanging out. We'll let everybody trickle in. Again, if you can, certainly if you're a service advisor, if you can drop your name into the chat so you can kind of get credit for the class, I'd appreciate it. And my name's Mitch. Thanks for logging on, everybody.
Morning, Mitch.
Hey, how's it going, man? How are you been?
Good.
Awesome. Andy, I was sharing with everybody earlier, I'm moving today. I say I'm moving. I have movers at my old house. So this class actually saved me from probably certainly getting bossed around by my wife, but two, to lift stuff. So I'm glad I got to do this. It's much more fun than toting boxes, which is what I've been doing every evening this week.
Well, thank you for putting it on.
Yeah, man.
You're welcome.
Yeah, we'll rock and roll whenever you guys say so. So I'm here at your discretion.
All right, let's give it.
So how's business for you guys? How's business in general?
It's good. We're gonna crush it off of last March, so it's gonna be great.
Yes, year over year is gonna be spectacular.
Yeah.
You know, most of our business is in Texas. I mean, we have the 7 states, but Mike Central's core business is in Texas, and they were affected, or we were affected so much by the freeze. I didn't know if there was going to be any pent-up demand because people weren't driving, but so far, most of our territories are on all-time record paces. So yeah, we're doing really well. So I kind of had a feeling business is coming back. Something else that I saw this morning that was really encouraging was 4 of the top 10 tourist spots are more popular on air travel today than they were on this day in 2019. So that kind of means that we're almost back. We almost get to, live again.
Right.
I'm so excited. I can't wait to travel some more, and not just for work, but like can't wait to go kick it at the beach, man. I'm excited. I'm getting ready.
Yeah, agreed.
One day I'll show you guys my beach bod, man. We'll see. That'll be super fun. Hey Ryan, nice to meet you. I'm Mitch. And at Ray's desk, I see 2 fellas. If y'all want to drop your name in the chat so I can at least acknowledge you, I'd appreciate it. Or you can come off mute and just tell me your name. But thanks for coming in. My name's Mitch. Nice to meet you guys.
My name's Chris, and this is Spencer.
Chris and Spencer. Awesome, man. Where you guys work?
Ken Garff Ford, American Fork.
Awesome.
Mhm.
Well, thanks for coming on. I'm in south of Denver, is where I office out of. So thanks for coming in. I appreciate it.
Very nice, of course.
Well, let's get started. Do you have a list of everybody that is on it?
Yeah.
I don't see anything in the chat.
Colton put his in, Thad put his name in. I have Chris and Spencer now with their names at least written down.
Okay.
Ryan, and then I have Carl is coming in as well right now. So I'll be able to keep track. And
Okay.
just to share too, I'm not sure if you were on earlier. This is being recorded on a private channel on YouTube. So I'll be able to go back and catch anybody that we missed. And if you're ready, I'm ready. We ready to roll?
I'm ready to roll. Let's go.
Oh, let's do it. Okay, so everybody, and Brett M is here. Nice to meet you, Brett. So my name is Mitch. I'm the corporate trainer for Mock Central. Essentially, that just means that I have a really big territory. Currently, I do training from Colorado to Memphis, Tennessee, South. Now I'm working with the Garff locations, so that kind of expands my footprint. A little bit about me, I'm a former teacher and coach, so I use some sports metaphors, and I'm during a lot of these classes, I will call on you. What my hopes are for this class, I want to give you an introduction to some sales strategies, and I want to plant some seeds. So for all of you service advisors, just let your guard down. I am not here to tell you what to do at all. That is not my goal. What I want to do is just plant some seeds, some food for thought that will help increase the amount of money that you make. And that's really the only reason that I'm here, is to try to help you make more money. So today's class is going to go over some of what I consider the basics and to give you my overall strategy. So if you are following along, if you can, I hope that you can see my screen. First, Mock Central, one vendor, one message, one goal. That's our motto. And as we work with you guys at Ken Garff, we just want to try to incorporate some of the ideas that we see across our footprint that works for us, that maybe some of those will work for you. And the one word that I want to highlight on this screen is goal. I want to set some goals with you. I spoke with your management and leadership about some of your goals that they ask you to set. As we get to know each other, I want to help you set those goals and reach those goals, but I'm a big goal guy. So hopefully we can do that at a later class. And this isn't going to be, I hope, the last time that I see you. So these classes are going to be an hour long. I'm going to try to pack in as much as I can. There are going to be elements like this where I share my screen. And that to me is what I call a teaching moment. When I go to what I call a preaching moment, I'm going to come back off of the share screen and I'm just going to talk to you one-on-one. Anytime during this, if you got a question, you can just drop it in the chat, or I prefer that you just unmute yourself and ask. Again, I don't want this to feel like a lecture. I want this to be a forum. So if you got something to say it. So I'm gonna go back to sharing my screen. All right, if you got your pen and paper, this is the first thing that I wanna share with you. And as we get to know each other, I'm gonna ask you to remember the word you're about to write down, okay? So if you wanna be better at your job, a better service advisor, a better person at Mock Corporate, if you wanna be better at anything, do this exercise and you will get better. And here's what it is. For the next 10 seconds or so, I want you to think of the word that best describes what makes you valuable. Now you can think of it in the context of this job as what makes you a better service advisor. But what I'd rather know, or rather for you to write down, because I'm not gonna call on you today on it, is what makes you a good father, a good son, a good guy to go to the ball game with or to go shoot pool with. What is your essence? If you had to bet on yourself on one single attribute, what is your number one strength? Think about it for a few seconds. Write it on your sheet of paper if you're taking notes, or if your phone, if you're a note taker that way. Write this word down of what makes you, you. Think about it for a minute, then I'm going to give you what my word is and how we can use this word to get better. So think about it for a second. Trustworthy, dependable, accountable, all those are words that a lot of people use, but choose your own word. So Chris and Spencer, just because I see you, take some notes, write them down. What's your word? Okay, now let me go to preach a little bit. My word is energy. When I go into a situation, I'm pretty sure that I'm going to be the most energetic fella in the room. Now, there's reason for that. The number one reason is I don't have any skills. I don't know how to work on cars. I can't make the lights come on. I can't lay flooring. I can't, shoot a gun and make deer into sausage. So to overcome that, I have to bring it. I have to have the energy. I have to have the effort in my situation. Now, how I use this for work and how I challenge everybody on this call to get better at what they do is this. When I have a bad day and I reflect, if I'm honest with myself, it's normally because I didn't bring it. I just kind of half-stepped my way through the day. I didn't really try as hard as I could, so I didn't get the results that I wanted to. So I make a vow, the very next service advisor that I speak with or manager that I talk to, or a chick at Starbucks that I get my latte from, that I'm going to show them the very best version of me. So whatever word you wrote down, if it's dependability, customer service, whatever your one word is, when you have a bad day, focus in on that strength. Focus in and be the most dependable person you can be to the very next client that you speak with. Be the most knowledgeable or hardworking or whatever your essence is. Because the more you show your customers the best version of you, the better you're going to be. And that's in everything that you do. Oftentimes I put better in air quotes because better could mean something different for everyone. It could mean keeping your business. It could mean building your business. So what is your better? That's what we want to try to reach. And again, if you can be your best self to more people tomorrow than you were yesterday, to me, that's successful. Any questions, comments, concerns? We'll move on. Next. There's some words that I believe in the usage of positive language. I believe the more positive that we can speak to a customer, the better off we're going to be. Here's what I mean. Oftentimes we get negative when we pitch a product to a customer, say a brake job. When we're pitching a brake job, it's real easy for us as advisors to fall into the rut that says, hey, Mr. Customer, you need to get a brake job because if you don't do it, bad things are going to happen. What I want to challenge you to do is think of the positive words. I want to reward action. So what is the customer going to get by doing that brake job? That their vehicle is going to stop better, that it's going to protect their vehicle or protect their family. So anything or any word that can be deemed negative, I want to replace that with a positive word. So on your sheet of paper, if you're taking notes or on your phone, I want you to write down some of the words that I don't want you to share with customers and replace them with words that I do. So the first word that I want to get you guys to avoid is the word tell, T-E-L-L. I don't want you to tell a customer anything. Hey, Mr. Customer, let me tell you what this guy found. Hey, Mr. Customer, let me tell you this, what we're doing here today. Tell is a negative word. Nobody likes to be told what to do. So instead, I want you to use the word share. Sharing builds empathy with the customer. Sharing builds rapport with the customer. Hey, Mrs. Customer, let me share with you the results of the multi-point inspection. Hey, Mr. Customer, let me share with you what the options are on those brake pads. Sharing is a much better word than tell. Next. I don't want you to explain things to a customer. And fellas, I don't know if we have any females on, but definitely if you are sharing things with a female, do not explain things to them. They even have words for it now, mansplaining. Women do not want to be explained things by men about subjects that they deem are masculine, like the car business. So instead, I want you to discuss options or choices. And it's so big today to offer choices to your customer. I mean, we are coming off, let me go to preach. We are coming off of a time the past year where so many choices have been taken away from us. We can't go to the movies. We can't go to restaurants. We can't sit near people in public spaces. So what I challenge you to do starting today is make sure that you give as many choices as you can to your customers, because trust me, they want to make choices. So let's give them choices. Let's give them options. We have this set of tires or we have that one. We have this set of wipers or we have that one. All of the choices that you can give to the customer, give it. Let me go back to sharing. Next. Many of you give cost and price every day. Let me get you a cost on those tires. Let me get you a price on that brake job. I don't want you to use those words anymore. Here's why. If I share with you guys, and it's not role playing, it's true. I'm a 25th wedding anniversary this year, and I'm going to buy my wife a new ring, and it's going to be pretty pricey, especially compared to the one that I could afford 25 years ago. So if I'm buying my wife a pricey ring, am I paying a little or a lot for it? It's a lot. If I share with you guys that my grandfather fought in a costly battle in World War II, did a few people die or a lot? A lot. See, I don't want to use words that make people think that something is expensive when I'm sharing with them what the options are for payment. So instead of giving the cost on tires or the price on tires, I want you to give the total or total investment. See, not many people want to spend money today. Money's tight, man. But fewer people don't mind investing in their vehicle. So let's give them some options to invest in their vehicle. So don't use cost or price, use total investment. You can write that down. Next, what do you guys call the people that work on vehicles? Most people say techs or technicians or grease monkeys or something detrimental or defaming. I don't want you to do that. It's not a joke. Instead, I want you to call them certified technicians. See, by mentioning that certified or that technician is certified, and I'll go back to preaching a little bit, elevates the expectation and elevates the inspection of that technician. So call them certified technicians, master certified technicians, GM specialist technicians, whatever the highest title you can give that person, the better. Let me go back to sharing. Next. When you're pitching my fuel services, don't promise better gas mileage. Gas mileage is almost all predicated on how hard you hit the gas pedal. So instead of saying gas mileage, I want you to say fuel efficiency. And again, write some of these words down, especially the words that you are currently using that are negative, and replace those with those positive words. Next. I don't want you to share with customers that we have a problem. The certified technician found this problem. They found this problem. I don't want you to say that. Nobody wants to solve a problem. Nobody wants to handle an issue. Instead, I want you to call it an item of concern. Now, for those of you that might not be taking notes, I don't get to see many videos, people don't share. I'm going to be calling on you next time to be using these words. So when I pitch stuff to you and you use these negative words, just know that I'm going to come back on you. We're going to change this mindset. We got to get into positive language. Next, when you get really schooled, and this one's kind of down the road, don't even share with customers what a technician found. This ain't no scavenger hunt, man. What do? They grade. And what's the grading scale that your certified technicians use? Green, yellow, red. Green's really good, red's really bad. The more you can say green, yellow, red, the better. And then finally, and I'm gonna call on one of you in a minute. If you could pitch me something, do not ask me if I want a set of wipers. Nobody wants anything. They're doing it because you say. So make sure you end your presentation or end your close with an authoritative statement like this: get authorization. So instead of saying, hey, man, you want a brake fluid exchange today? Say, all I need is your authorization. It is a much stronger close. So in a minute, I'm going to call on somebody to close me on something. Okay. Whoa, man, Scott Westerkamp scared me. Okay, so positive language. Let's make sure we use it. Now, I want to touch on your walk around. Every store's walk around is generally a little bit different, but I'd like to tighten this up for all of your stores. What's the goal of doing a walk around? Hopefully, what you're thinking is to make money. We need to go outside during that meeting with the customer, and we need to try to find some opportunities to make money. So how do we do that? I'm not asking you guys to go out and spend 10 minutes with the customer. I got a 5-minute entire walk around that's very comprehensive, but I don't want to start there. What I want to do is give you a 30-second walk around that you can go outside and set up 30 items in 30 seconds. So I told you guys or shared with you guys that I'm a former coach, so I'm a big believer in the stopwatch. Let me share with you what I mean. So I walk outside, I get my timer, and I say, hey, welcome to American Fork. My name is Mitch. Are you here to see anybody in particular? And Spencer says no. And I say, awesome, man, what can I do for you today? And they say, oil change and tire rotation. And I say, great, well, hop back in your car for me. And they do. Then I say, can you fire it up for me? And they do. You mind turning the wheels all the way to the left, not too hard, and hit your windshield washer fluid for me? Awesome. How many miles you got on this sucker? 62,000 miles. Great. You mind shutting it off? I want to show you something on your tires. 33 seconds. So first thing that I want to share with everybody on the call. I know you have 30 seconds to spend with the customer outside. I know you do. I'm not asking too much for you to go outside, meet with your customers, try to get with them to the particular person that they're coming in for. But I don't care why they're here. We still need to do a walk around. We still need to get the customer involved in the car. So watch. Are you here for, I'm here for oil change. Awesome. Hop back in your car. I'm here for a recall. Awesome. Hop back in your car. I'm here for a check engine light. Awesome. Hop back in your car. Now let me go over these steps with you guys. And again, I'm going to share this packet with Andy at the end of the class. We're also videoing it. So if you miss some of this stuff, you can go back and take notes. But watch. Why do I want the customer to get back in the car? You guys could just as easily get in the car, start it up, get the mileage. You might even can do it faster. Why am I asking you to keep the customer engaged by getting them in the car? Because anything you hear, see, touch, or smell, I want the customers hearing, seeing, touching, smelling. I want the walk around to be with every sense you can, because you never know what sense a customer is going to have that's important to them. So get them back in the car. Also, that's their comfort zone. Let them stay comfortable. Get them in the car. They want to be a part of it. And if your customers say, and I'll take it off the screen share, I'm busy. I don't have time for this. Man, it's only going to be 30 seconds. Get them in the car. Keep them engaged. I found that you make $20 extra every time you do a walk around at the car as opposed to not doing one. So let me go back to sharing. I want you to engage the customer by getting in the car. Now, let's start selling, okay? Because that's why we're here. When we start the vehicle, I want you to be listening and looking. Now, what are we listening for? Well, how about right when they start the car, if it's a slow crank? What would you say? Would you try to sell them a battery right there on the drive? No, probably not. Because it could be a battery, it could be a bad starter or a loose cable. It could just need a battery service. So we're going to let the certified technician handle that. But what would we say? Well, we would mention, does that happen all the time? Does it happen only in the morning? And so many things can only be seen and heard at starting up the car. So if the vehicle is running and they get back in the car, I want you to have them shut it off and then start it. Also, and with listening, I want you to be looking. Where I like to look is the dash first for any lights. If we see it, we're going to mention it. What's this light do? What's that light do? Mention to the customer, this is what happened with this light. This is what happens with this one. But also, I want you to take a look in the back seat. Reason I want you looking in the back seat, maybe we'll find a baby seat. Maybe we'll find some golf equipment. Maybe we'll find something that a customer and I can strike up a conversation with about, and I can start selling myself. Another good place to look when they start up the car is at their radio. Try to strike up a conversation about music or something that you may be a part of. Anything, any clue that we can get to kind of share with us what type of person they are. So when you start up the car, be listening, be looking. What if you hear a tapping noise? What would you say? Well, what you ought to do is focus on that tapping noise. Tap, 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 tap. So we're hearing and the customer are hearing the exact same thing. What I don't want you to do is just write it up for engine noise, okay? So let me go back to sharing. Next step in the walk around, I want you to turn the wheels to the left. This is another good opportunity to listen, okay? We're listening for suspension noises. What if there's a popping noise? You can share with the customer. Did you hear that popping noise? Because it could be CV boots or axles or all that front end stuff that I don't know about, but you know who does? My certified technician does. And remember, if you hear anything that's abnormal, don't say that anything's wrong, because we don't know if anything's really wrong yet. Just say this isn't normal. That's not normal. Way softer words than if anything is wrong. Let me go back to teaching. Next, I want you to have them hit the windshield wipers. Now, just because I see you on video, I'm not picking on you, but is that Spencer or Chris that I'm looking at? Oops, go ahead.
Spencer.
Spencer, okay, you mind being my guinea pig and my little, okay, cool. So how do you currently sell wipers? What's your strategy?
Usually when I get it back on the multi-point sheet, and if it's red, I usually go, hey, you know, they are starting to get a little bit streaky. You know, we can replace them today if you guys want to. I mean, they're not broken or anything. They're just streaky.
Yes, sir. Okay, so I'm of the opinion that we can pre-sell a few items, and wipers are one of them. So I want to try to sell wipers right there on the drive. How I've found is the best way to do it is have them use the windshield washer fluid. If the wipers look bad, I point to the windshield and then I close them on wipers. And everybody who's taking notes, this is something good because some of the stuff that we just went over, I want to try to avoid. So watch this. On your sheet of paper or on your notes, write the word close. Not like close your wear, but close the door. C-L-O-S-E. And there are 4 elements. The first element is what? What do they need? Write that down. What do they need? Number 2, how much is it? Number 3, when's it going to be ready? And number 4, authorization. So watch. Mr. Customer, hit your windshield wiper fluid for me if you don't mind. And I normally do this so they know to, you know, hit the fluid. And the wipers look bad. I want to say, man, I point to the windshield. And then I say, you know, hey, Chris, today, as you can see, your wipers are streaking. We need to get you a new set on. They're $49. We can have it done while we do your oil change. All I need is your authorization. Because again, I don't want to end that presentation with a question. You need a set of wipers. They are $49. It will take this long. All I need is your authorization. And that's the same close that I'm gonna share with you in a minute. So let's get outside and use some of those wipers. Another really good contest that I like to run to know that people are actually going outside and doing the wipers is to run a wiper special and then contest. Because the more wipers you sell, the more that I know that you're going out on the drive. But thanks for doing that with me. I appreciate it. So what if no fluid comes out? What could it be? It could be a clogged nozzle. It could be out of fluid. And if it is out of fluid, what are we going to do? We're going to top off that fluid because you know what we do here at Garff? We do 5,000 mile services. We do 10,000 mile services. You know what we don't do? We don't do oil changes. You need to get oil change out of your mind too. We need to do services. We go above and beyond just what the customer is coming in for with the oil change. Next, get the miles. And I want the customer to say the miles. Here's why. It becomes psychological. The more miles that are on a vehicle, the more they think they need to spend. So get them to say it. I know you could just read it. I don't want you to read it. I want the customer to say it because it's mindful. It will become, oh man, it's got 70,000 miles. I'm going to need to spend some more money. I got 80,000 miles. Now I need to spend some more money. So make them say the miles. Then finally shut the vehicle off and show them something on the tires. I like wear bars. I like color-coded tread depth gauges, green, yellow, red, nitrogen if you sell it. And do you guys currently sell nitrogen? Do y'all sell nitrogen? Anybody? No? If you do, a really good resource is www.getnitrogen.org. It's a very good savings calculator. I go over that during my complete walk around class. But if you want to work on something today, that's a very good activity. So that walk around, the steps, get the customer back in the car, start the vehicle, turn the wheels to the left so you can get a big view of the tire, hit the windshield washer fluid, ask them the miles, show them something on the tires. It takes about 30 seconds, and all of that stuff added up is about 30 different items that you can set up in 30 seconds. That's what we can do to make more money. Questions, comments, concerns before we move on to multi-point? Okay, cool. Let me go back to teaching. All right. I know you guys do video multi-point inspections. I have watched some, and I've even, with American Fork, we had a little meeting about video multi-point inspections. They are super important, and they're even more important for people like me. And what I mean by people like me are, first, people that don't know anything about cars. Two, I pay for the maintenance on my daughter's cars. My daughters are in college. So if they call me and say, hey, the dealership says I owe them $300, I'm going to ask them what for. They're not going to be able to explain it to me. They're not going to be able to share anything with me. So that video multi-point inspection is super important. But how are we setting it up? What do you share with a customer before they leave or before they sit down? What do you share with them about what's about to happen with that video multi-point inspection? Here's what I mean. Most of you do this. You write up a vehicle. You say, hey, what's your preferred contact? Can I send you a text? May I send you an email? All of that. You get that part. But normally you say, hey, I'll give you a call with an update later. I'll give you a call after we get the multi-point inspection. I don't want to do that. I want to set proper expectations with the customer. So I want you to give a speech that sounds more like this. Hey, Jason, before you take off, want to let you know that you're going to get a video multi-point inspection via text. My certified technician is going to take a look at a lot of different things like your brake pad thickness and your battery cranking amps. Everything they look at, they grade on a green, yellow, and red scale. Green's really good, red's really bad. If they mark any items in yellow or red, can I give you a call? Can I shoot you an email? Can I send you a text? That sets up that video multi-point inspection. Don't just say, hey, we're getting a multi-point, I'll let you know what's on it. Set those proper expectations. So let me go back, share screen so we can take some notes. If you are taking notes, write this down. MPI setup and underline it. Multi-point inspection setup, underline it. First thing, how will the customer get it? So this is either text, email, whatever you guys are using. So Mr. Customer, you're going to get a video multi-point inspection via text or via email. Share with them, make sure that you get the proper information to give them. Next, I want you to share with them who does the multi-point inspection. And remember, that's my certified technician. Next, and this is the part that throws people a lot. I want you to give 2 specific items that you know your technician is going to look at. So this is more of like the video quality of your store. But if you know they look at brakes and tires every time, then share with the customer before they leave that they should expect to see their brakes and tires. If they are very good at shooting battery cranking amps or staging of videos of filters, just let me know something as a customer of what to expect on this video or even how long the video is. And while we're on those, are you guys watching the videos before you call people and pitch? Because if you ain't, we're missing the boat. And what I mean by that is if you see something on the video, but the technician doesn't quite mention it correctly, like a side view of the windshield wipers, maybe you see that the wipers were streaking, but he doesn't say anything in the video or she doesn't say anything in the video, then you need to pitch that to the customer anyway. So make sure you're watching these videos. Let me go back to the setup. So, Mr. Customer, you're gonna get a video multi-point inspection via text from one of my certified technicians. They're going to look at stuff like your brakes and your tires. And over this 90-second video, and your video should be around 90 seconds, everything they look at, they grade on a green, yellow, and red scale. Green's good, red's bad. Last 2 words of this, most important 2 words. If they find any items in yellow or red, can I give you a call? Can I shoot you a text? It's that part that makes it the customer's idea. And again, I want you guys to be selling from the time that customer gets to your dealership to the time they leave. But I never want the customer to feel like they're being sold. So watch. Hey, before you take off, Mr. Customer, Scott, before you take off, one of my certified technicians is going to do a video multi-point inspection. It's going to come through you via text. They're going to look at a lot of stuff like your tires and your brakes. And over that 1.5-minute long video, they're going to grade everything on a green, yellow, and red scale. Green's really good, red's really bad. If they mark any items in yellow or red, can I give you a call? What's the customer going to say? They're going to say, yeah. So now whose idea is it? It's the customer's idea. Now, did I ask them if we could do a multi-point? No, I didn't ask that. We're going to do a multi-point. Only thing I asked is if anything's in yellow or red, can I give you a call? Do y'all see the difference? That's how to set up your teammate. That's how to set up the process of a 5,000 or a 10,000 mile service at Garff. Any questions, comments, concerns about setting up that video multi-point inspection? Next. What are you guys saying when you get that video? What are you saying to pitch it? I want to go over my speech, and this is an entire class that I give, but I want to plant the seed of what you need to say to your customers. So once they watch that video and you're pitching it back, are you saying something like this? Hey, Spencer, certified technician Brian has completed the multi-point inspection that you requested. I got the notification that you received your video. If you have a minute, I'd like to discuss those details. First, man, I got great news. Your vehicle has 72,000 miles on it, and Brian graded it on 27 different items using that green, yellow, red standard. You saw it in your video. Your battery cranking amps are in the green, and so were your brake pad thickness. That's awesome. However, he did mark one item of concern in the red. Based on time, mileage, and condition of the vehicle, Brian recommends that we do a brake fluid exchange. Do you happen to know what one of those does? Well, what we want to do is get rid of all the old broken down brake fluid and replace it with brand new. It's going to help your vehicle stop better and last longer. So that, along with your $10K, will bring your total investment to $558.68. We can have it all done by 2 o'clock. All I need is your authorization. Is your speech like that? Is your speech tight? Do you say the same things every time? Let me go back to sharing the screen. If you're taking notes, you can follow along on this. First, I want you to be upbeat and positive. Now, you probably don't have to be as energetic as me because 1, it would probably get old, and 2, it might scare your customers, but you got to be upbeat and positive. What I don't want you to do is anti-sell. And what anti-selling is this. Hey, Mr. Customer, a certified technician said this. You don't have to do this today. You might can do it now. There is no might. There is no can. We're either going to do it or not do it. But we got to do it with a good attitude. We got to be upbeat and positive. You see what I mean? Next. Certified technician Brian has completed the multi-point inspection that you requested. I got notification that you received your video. If you got a minute, I'd like to share some of the details. What's your favorite word in that sentence? If you're taking notes, write one of those words down. A lot of people put certified technician or calling them by name, but what is your favorite word in that? Discuss the details, share the details. Whatever your favorite word is, write it down. I'll share with you why we're doing that in a minute. Next, I got great news. Your vehicle has 72,000 miles. And as you saw during your video, Brian graded your vehicle on 27 different items of green, yellow, and red. What's your favorite word in that sentence? Now, the reason that I'm asking you to write down these favorite words is right now, I don't want you to change your whole speech. I want you to just take a word or two from what we're discussing today and put it into practice for tomorrow, okay? Don't change everything at once. Just change small things that are gonna make an incremental difference in what you do. Every word counts. Let me share with you what I mean with every word counts. See how I put our certified technician at the beginning of that speech, but then I wrote your vehicle? See, let me take it off of teach and go to preach. See, no matter how much you think someone needs to do a service, it's still their decision. So at the beginning, it's you, it's the customer, and we're getting a big hug with the certified technician. We're all one big happy family. But in a minute, the customer has to take ownership of this, and they have to say, yes, it is my car, it is my decision, okay? So it becomes, I changed that adverb from our to your. Let me go back. Next sentence. He measured your battery cranking amps, they were in the green. He measured your brake pad thickness and it was in the green as well. Are you saying two nice things before you say anything negative about the car? Or are you just jumping right in it? Hey, you saw at the end of your video, you need a cabin air filter, you need an engine air filter. I don't want you to do that. Don't rush into it. Build into the process. Always say two nice things before you say anything negative. And if you're real slick, what you'll do is you'll reference back to these two words that you shared with the customer earlier and say, remember when I said that he was going to check your brakes and tires? See, your brakes were in the green, so were your tire tread depth. You get it? Because what we want to do is every time we say something, we want to build on the next step. We want to build onto the next process. All right, next. However, the certified technician did find one item of concern in the red. So when do red items need to be addressed? Right now, ASAP. Normally everybody gets that answer.
Hey,
But
Bruce,
the key, but the key word to that for me was in the red. Trust me, the more you can say green, yellow, red, the more understanding your customer is going to have with their ailments. If you ask any customer today, if I share with you that your brakes are in the green, what does that mean? They're going to say, good, they're good to go. I don't need to do anything. If you share with that same customer, brakes are in the red, what does that mean? They're going to say, oh, it's dangerous. We need to stop. So everyone knows green, yellow, red. You should do it outside with your color-coded tread depth gauge. You ought to talk about it before the video, and you ought to talk about it afterwards. It ties in all of those processes. Let me go back to teaching. Next. Based on time, mileage, and condition of the vehicle, he recommends a brake fluid exchange. Or if you're videoing the dab board, the condition of the fluid, you can mention that, okay? So just have your strategy down. Now this next sentence, if you wanna get better faster, if you wanna get better before our next class, I'm gonna make it bigger. You can write this sentence down. Do you know what a brake fluid exchange does? Now watch, this is real key. Do you know what a brake fluid exchange does? There's only two answers and both of them are good. First, if the customer says yes, yeah, I know what a brake fluid exchange does, then I want you to say this. Great, then you know how important it is. Because see, if the customer understands what a brake fluid exchange does, to further discuss it only lessens the chance that you're gonna sell. So you ask them, do you know what a brake fluid exchange does? 90% are gonna say no. When they say no, I want you to come back with this. What we're doing is getting rid of all your old broken down brake fluid and replacing it with brand new. It's gonna help with the performance of that unit and it helps avoid costly repair and breakdown. Then you go for the close that we just mentioned earlier. That, along with your oil change, tire rotation, and other items, will bring your total investment today to $385.96. We can have everything done by 2 o'clock. All I need is your authorization. You shared with them, what do they need? How much was it? When's it gonna be ready? All I need is your authorization. What do they need? How much is it? When's it gonna be ready? all I need your authorization, in that order. Don't do the money last, do the time last. And don't give the time in, it's going to be done in 1 hour, it's going to be done in 2 hours, because people are going to be clock watching, they're going to get anxious and nervous. So instead of sharing with that way, share with them the time that it's going to be, 11 o'clock, 2 o'clock, 2:15. But you make the same close every time. Let me go back to that word track one more time. Now watch. Do you know what a coolant exchange does? Well, what we're going to do is get rid of all your old broken down coolant and replace it with brand new. How about a transmission fluid exchange? Do you know what that does? Well, we're getting rid of your old transmission fluid and replacing it with brand new. Now watch this. Do you know what replacing your cabin air filter does? Well, what we're doing is getting rid of your old broken down cabin air filter and replacing it with a brand new one. How about front brakes? Do you know what a front brake job does? Well, what we're doing is getting rid of all your old worn out brake pads, resurfacing your rotors and putting on brand new pads. Going to help you stop better and those parts last longer. It's $249. We can have it done by 2 o'clock. All I need your authorization. See, if you really want to get good fast, you ask the question, do you know what I'm selling you? There ain't but two answers. Yes, you do. Great. Then you know how important it is and go for the close. Oh, you don't know what this is? What we're doing is out with the old, in with the new, and then go for the close. This is how much it is. This is when it's going to be ready. All I need your authorization. The same speech every single time. And when we go over our class in a little smaller groups and we do our success cycle classes, I'm going to get you to say it and ask me, do you know what I'm selling? If I say yes, great, then you know how important it is. It's that basic. And that when you do that, you're going to get so confident in the words that you use that the customer is going to pick up on that confidence. And when the customer picks up on that confidence, they're going to buy more. You know what's weird is when they buy more, you get more consistent because you like that money. So the more consistent you get, the more you sell. The more you sell, the more consistent you get. And that starts the success cycle. But it all starts with consistency. You gotta say the same thing every time. If I ask you, how do you pitch a brake job to somebody? And you say, well, it depends on if it's a male or a female. Not a good answer. If they're rich or poor, not a good answer. You need to pitch the exact same way every single time. Let me go back to teaching. All right, next. Let's talk about when we start getting it. What are we going to do? When we start selling, what are our goals? What are your goals right now? And do you write them down? You are 80% more likely to hit your goal if you write it down. So each month, well, first, how much money do you want to make a year? Are you taking that yearly goal and breaking it down quarterly? Are you taking your quarterly goals and breaking them down to monthly goals? Your monthly into weekly, your weekly into daily, your daily into each and every RO. Are you tracking your goals? So on your sheet of paper, if you're taking notes, you can write down goals. I want 3 things out of your goals. I want to challenge you to test every goal you set to these 3 standards. First, is it measurable? Here's what I mean. Oops, I can't spell. Is it measurable? Let me take it off of teach. Your goals have to be measurable. And what I mean is, don't just say, if I say, Carl, what's your goal for gross? And you say, I want to sell as much as I can. That's not a goal. It's an aspiration. Your goal has to be measurable. So I want you to say 90,000, 120,000, or whatever the case may be. It's got to be a number. It's got to be measurable. Next, your goal must be trackable. If you ain't tracking your goal, you ain't trying to hit your goal. And if you ain't trying to hit your goal, then it ain't a goal. So it's got to be trackable. So when I say, hey, Chris, where are you on gross this month? And you say, I don't have any idea. That's not good enough. Your goals must be trackable. And then finally, attainable. Your goals got to be attainable. If you're selling $100,000 in gross and you've been doing so for the past quarter, don't put that you want to sell $400,000. That's not attainable. We're not going to hit that high. So change your goal from 100 to 108, 108 to 112, 112 to 124. Each time you hit that goal, you're going to get a little better at setting goals. And it's just like that success cycle. The more you try to set those goals where you can hit those goals, the better you are going to be at making and hitting goals, and the more money you're going to make. So again, down the road, I'm gonna have a little class with you about your goals. I wanna go over your numbers. I wanna dig into every number. What makes up your labor gross? Are you selling one thing over and over and over and over again? Or do you have a wide range of variety of items that you sell? Because the best way to hit your gross goal isn't to sell one thing 1,000 times, it's to sell 1,000 things one time. And that's what we gotta get to. Now, let's go over little product and a little strategy in our last 10 minutes. First, oil additives. Oil additives are really important. One of the reasons is you can pitch it at every oil change. Now we got a long product class, but I do want to highlight these things to make sure that you first know that they're available, and second, that you understand what we're doing. So with this oil additive, this simply goes into the crankcase of a new oil change, and you ought to pitch this to every customer every time, because it gets you into the habit again of upselling. I like to use the word special, oil change specials, packages, savings, okay? Those are all good words. What that oil additive is a friction modifier that goes into the oil that essentially anything oil lubricates, it just lubricates it more. Some analogies that I like to give are spraying down your pots and pans so things don't stick. A couple of popular friction modifiers, Lucas Oil, people kind of know that one, you could mention that, or STP, people know those as well. But you ought to pitch these every single oil change, because again, it gets you into the habit of selling. Next, fuel additives. People know these. This particular fuel additive that most of you have on your shelf, it just simply goes directly into the gas tank. We do have an oil additive that's formulated for direct inject. Any product stuff that you want, you can reach out to your local distributor. But we do have tank additives that are for direct inject engines. Again, these can be pitched every oil change or every other oil change. So get to know the benefits. The ones that I like are the boosting of performance, the boosting of horsepower. Again, do not promise better gas mileage by doing a fuel additive or a fuel service. Here's why. Gas mileage is almost all predicated on how hard you hit the gas pedal. You could get a new Dodge truck, drive at 50 miles an hour and get 25 miles to the gallon. Same truck, you could drive 95 miles an hour and get 7 miles to the gallon. So don't preach better gas mileage, preach better fuel efficiency. Okay, next. That's our direct inject. I didn't know I had that in there, so cool. How about this? AC services. We're about to come onto the spring. How familiar are you with our AC services? This one in particular cleans the evaporator core. It's a pretty cool service. This product is scented. To me, it smells like dryer sheets. I invite all of you, get with your local mock rep. I would love for you to do a service like this on your own vehicle so you could have a personal testimony about this. So if you need a demo or would like a demo on that, let us know, we'll get it to you. Arctic Blast is another AC product. This is injected into the low pressure side of the AC unit. It lowers the vent temperature that's coming out. So it's real easy to administer. You only have to do it once. The air blows colder. So that's a fun service as well on your AC. And I'm going to stop there briefly. Those are things, again, you can sell right on the drive. Customer comes in for an oil change. You're doing your walk around. You can pitch those AC services in a myriad of ways. You can go over the AC products, Arctic Blast, all of those things. You can do that directly on the drive after you do your walk around. Now, for the most part, we're selling after a multi-point inspection. So brake fluid. Again, what does the brake fluid exchange do? Well, we're getting rid of all the old broken down brake fluid, replace it with brand new. Now, something that I want you to mention, and you could write it in this bottom right-hand corner if you choose to. This is a 100% brake fluid exchange. We are not just sucking it out of the reservoir with a turkey baster and putting an 8-ounce bottle in. We do a complete fluid exchange where we evacuate fluid out of each caliper until new fluid is coming out. So it is a 100% fluid exchange. I like to talk about with brake fluid, this third check mark, avoid reduced braking ability. And the positive way to say that is it helps it stop better. When you're doing a brake job, you should piggyback a brake fluid exchange because we're maximizing that stopping distance on the vehicle. So when you do a brake job, you ought to piggyback that brake fluid exchange. And again, give them the total amount of all of that put together. And again, when we go through our success cycle or our role playing class, I'm gonna get you to pitch me a brake fluid, a brake pad replacement, and you better be pitching me a brake fluid exchange too, because if we're not, that's why we're not making the money that we can. Next, coolant. Coolant exchange? Yeah, somebody. Again, do you know what a coolant exchange does? Most people are going to say no. We're getting rid of all your old coolant, replacing it with brand new. Remember, we are using your OEM coolant and our additives. So it just, you know, some people get a little weird about what coolant they're using. That's the one that we're using. The ones that I like the best is preventing overheating. One of the elements that's in the coolant kit is a water wetter. And what that water wetter does is it helps dissipate heat evenly throughout the engine, okay? So you're much less likely to have catastrophic failure or blown head gaskets by doing that coolant service. So very good service to do. But again, do you know what a coolant exchange does? Yes, great that you know how important it is. No, out with the old coolant, in with the new. Next. Gear oil, diff services. This is another one that you could sell on the drive. Once you get to know your customers during a walk around, if they have a trailer hitch or they got the bed of the truck is real scratched up, you can talk to them about the usage of their truck, pitch a gear oil service right there on the drive. This is a pretty basic service to do. It's very quick lane friendly, takes about 6 minutes to perform. We got every gear oil you'll ever need. 75, 140, 80, 90. If they make it, we make it. So you can reach out and get that. We have stuff with limited slip. We have stuff with extreme pressure lube. I like gear oil services, again, because they are very quick lane friendly. They're a good money maker, and they're often forgotten by the customer. So you can remind customers, you know, gear oil goes bad just like regular oil does and wears out and breaks down. So today's the day that you need to get that done. We have power steering services. Now the picture here is for a hydraulic system. These are aging. In 5 or 6 years, we probably won't even have this service. But again, this is out with the old fluid, in with the new. You top it off with a little conditioner, and that's your service. Again, very quick lane friendly. We have transmission services. We can service CVT units. We can service regular units. We can go through dipsticks. There's a lot of ways through pressure ports. Again, if a transmission can be serviced, we can service it. But again, you ask a customer, do you know what a transmission service does? Yes, great that you know how important it is. No, then you share with them out with the old, in with the new. Injector services, decarb services. We'll go over a pitch of those next time and your strategies. But let's start wrapping this one up. So that's a lot of stuff, okay? And it was me preaching to you most, me talking, not calling on you, okay? We're gonna have classes that we break down into smaller groups where I'm gonna call on you. And I want you to talk to me. I want you to be honest with me. The more information you give me, the more help I can give you, okay? So when I ask you next time, what's the goal of the walk around? I hope that you say to make money. Now, again, I don't want to gouge customers. I don't ever want to sell anything to a customer that they don't need, but I dang sure want to offer every single option that I can to the customer. I want to be that one vendor to you, and I hope that you want to be that one automotive vendor for your customers. Next, make sure that you're getting outside and doing that walk around and use all of your senses. If you smell something funky, bring up the AC service. If you hear something odd, bring it to the customer's attention. If you feel something Make them feel it. Make them touch it. If you see a dent, touch it. Make them touch it. If you have a paintless dent removal or body shop, but make it where all of the senses are used during your walk around. Hit that windshield wiper fluid, sell some wipers, and remember that close, because it's gonna come up again. What do I need? How much is it? When's it gonna be ready? All I need your authorization. You need a brake job. It is $250. We can do it by 2 o'clock. All I need your authorization. It's coming. The more I meet with you, the more I'm gonna push you on it. What do we call the guys that work on the vehicles? Certified technicians. Use that positive language. And finally, if you want to get better, and if you take any one thing out of this class, it's that first word that you wrote down. Show people the very best version of you. If you do that more often tomorrow than you did yesterday, you're going to be better. And when you get better, you're going to feel that confidence, and it's going to come out, and you're going to sell more, and it's just fun. Okay, but be the best version of you. Any questions, comments, concerns? I'll go back to the boss man. Andy, questions, comments, concerns, anything that you want me to reiterate?
No, thank you for giving this. Real quick, for if you're a new advisor, I want to make sure that you have a copy of the onboarding book for Garff. And if you don't, please ask your manager to give you one. If you do, if you go to page 24 in the book, there's a bunch of checklists inside of there. If you can, go to 24, and just what I would ask is that in the next 90 days that you can check everything off in the book. And if you can't, then reach out to somebody to help you check off everything inside of that book. If your manager says they do not have books, you can get one on the employee website and download it in the service department section in onboarding. And then, yes, we will have continued classes on this, on these with Mitch. And so I appreciate, Mitch, that you put this together for us today. I don't have any questions unless anybody on the call has any questions or concerns or comments that they want to give.
Anybody got anything? Okay, I'm gonna just one more time. You better know your one word next time, because I'm gonna ask it to you, because I want to know what makes you tick, so I can help you. So Jason and Brett and Scott and all of you guys that are on it, do not take that first word for granted, because I'm coming back at you, dude. I want to know what makes you tick, because if I do, I can help you faster and help you better, and I am here to help. Again, all of this stuff, or most of my material, is on YouTube. My name is Mitch Hart, H-A-R-D-T. You can check us out or get on Mock Central. And again, that's just if you want to get ahead. But as I get to know you, I do want you push me and me push you, because steel sharpens steel. So cool. Y'all have a good one. Go and kick some more butt. I appreciate y'all's time. Y'all have a great day.
Thank you.
You're welcome.